Warning: this stream is rated for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, good evening. Welcome back to Squidge's Wildlife Animal Hospital Theater. My name is Scotty, also known as EBC. Tonight we are back with Ancient Airwaves and Dark Fantasy that ran from 1941 to 1942. Just a short run between November 41 to June of 42. It was an American radio supernatural thriller anthology series. 31 episodes, and all were written by a man named Scott Bishop, who was also known for his work on The Mysterious Traveler. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to get started with our first episode, The Man Who Came Back, that first aired on November 14th, 1941.
Dark fantasy. I am the man who came back.
All right, now break it up, break it up.
This way, officer. He's in here.
All right, miss. Casey.
Yes, Captain.
Now you stay right there in that doorway and don't let nobody in or out.
Right, Captain. All right now. All right, you heard him.
Oh, but we had nothing to do with this.
Okay, sister. If you didn't, you ain't got nothing to be scared of. Hey, you. Where do you think you're going?
I thought I might get a little air, if you don't mind.
Well, I do mind. Now, back in the house with you. What's the big idea of you wearing that mask?
As you might have observed, my friend, this is a masquerade party.
Oh, is it now? Well, according to Emily Post, it's masks off at midnight. And we got this call to come out here just as the clock in Washington Circle was striking the hour.
The call was placed by a most hysterical woman. And there is nothing you can do for the man in there, I assure you.
Stop changing the subject. What I want to know is, why ain't you unmasked like the others?
I prefer, sir, to wear my mask.
Take it off, Don Juan. I want to look at your mug.
It might be better, my friend, if you didn't see my mug.
Now, look here, Zorro.
Perhaps while we are waiting, I might tell you a story.
Yeah? What is this? Bedtime at Grandma's? The only story I'm interested in is what happened here tonight.
Exactly.
Eh?
I said exactly. Perhaps I can tell you the story.
All right, then, my fine, mysterious friend. Give.
Well, you see, it's quite a long story. It really all began yes, at least 3 years ago. I remember that evening quite well. I let myself into Granger's apartment. It was a golden key I used. A bright golden key. And there was no one there when I arrived. So I closed the door and waited. Well, Grange, imagine seeing me here.
Huh? Blake. Oh, I say, you startled me.
Did I now? I dare say, had I been someone else, you wouldn't have been at all startled.
Incidentally, old man, how did you get in here?
I suppose it would be quite facetious of me to say that I came in the same way you did. Oh, I say, a new piano. Do you mind?
No, not at all. Go right ahead. Help yourself. Have a drink?
No, thanks. You'd better have one, though.
Oh, yeah. I say, Blake, what's that you're playing?
You've heard it before, Grange.
Have I? I don't recall.
You have a short memory.
I usually remember pretty well.
Well, when you choose to, you do, yes.
What do you mean by that?
My wife has played that tune for you every night this week, and last, and the week before that. You see, I happen to know.
Oh. I see.
Well, I'm glad you haven't the audacity to deny it.
No. No, I don't deny it. Your wife has been here. Often. As often as she possibly could. But I assure you she came of her own desire.
And as a result of your oily persuasion.
I might agree, Blake, that she is easily persuaded. And, of course, my curiosity prompts me to ask how you finally learned the truth.
I accidentally found the key to your apartment here. It was in Sylvia's purse. A golden key. With your initials engraved on one side, hers on the other.
Why, I thought that a rather handsome touch. Don't you agree?
I've brought the key back to you.
How gallant of you, old fellow.
I'm serious. Sylvia will never come here again.
Are you positive of that?
Quite. For I shall ask her not to.
You seem to believe she'll obey you.
She will. And I ask you now, Grange, as a gentleman, kindly refrain from inviting her here again.
In other words, hands off. Is that it?
I'm glad I make myself quite plain.
Why, you fool. You dull, stupid fool. What right have you to demand anything of Sylvia? Do you think for a moment, night after night, twiddling her thumbs while you're away from home?
I admit I've been busy this past year, but another 6 months...
You've no one to blame for Sylvia's being here but yourself. Here she's found what you've denied her, Blake. And I doubt very much if she'll give it up.
Why, you swine, if you think for a moment... Oh. I forgot you carried a gun. But if you'd care to put it away...
Skip the heroics, Blake. You know, I think I've suddenly thought of a solution to all this.
The only solution is for you to leave Sylvia alone.
Oh, no. No, you're quite mistaken. This is the solution. Here in my hand. Indeed, I rather like the idea. Besides, with you out of the way, Sylvia need have no more qualms.
Why, you low yellow rat.
That's it, Blake. Come closer. Threaten me. Make me do it. Make me do it, Blake.
If you think killing me is the way out, Grange, you're very badly mistaken.
It's the only way out.
If you kill me, Grange, I'll come back and avenge myself.
One shot, and that'd be all. I can prove self-defense. Sylvia will help. She'll swear you came here and tried to kill me.
I'll come back, Grange.
Just one shot directly between the eyes.
I'll haunt you, Grange, because by God in heaven, I'll come back.
It's a perfect scheme, yes. I like
I'll
it.
pierce the veil, Grange, because I'll come back if I have to fight all the demons of hell to do it.
Prepare, Blake. This is a chance of a lifetime. It's the way out. Yes, it's the way out.
Grange!
Get your extra paper. Wealthy playwright slain in millionaire's apartment. Read all about it. Here you are, Mr. Keith Grange playing self-defense in slaying of Philip Blake. Here it is, folks. Get your extra paper. Read the headline news about the killing. It's all here in your extra paper.
It is the judgment of this court that the defendant, Keith Grange, did shoot and kill the deceased Philip Blake on the night of April 16th, and that in so doing, he acted in a line of self-defense. The court therefore decrees that Keith Grange shall not be held to account for this unfortunate incident.
Well, my dear?
I suppose there's nothing to worry about now.
Not the slightest thing. I told you from the very beginning, Sylvia, that I acted rightly in doing what I did.
Oh, I still can't resign myself to it.
But you must. It's all over. Philip is dead. Now we can be together as much as we please.
Keith, suppose you and I should have a misunderstanding. Suppose I should become angry sometime. So angry I might tell the truth to the authorities.
That, my dear, would be most unfortunate. But it's a possibility, and by no means should we overlook possibilities. So allow me to remind you, Sylvia, my dear girl, that your hiding the true facts of the matter of the coroner's investigation automatically makes you an accomplice.
Oh, I see. But why are we talking like this, darling? We'll both feel better after we've had a little rest.
Oh, of course we will, dear.
Kiss me goodnight, darling. I'm going home.
I'll take you.
Oh, no. No, I'd rather go alone tonight if you don't mind.
As you wish, my dear. Good night.
Good night, darling.
Sweet.
Will you call me in the morning?
Yes, of course I will.
Good night, then.
Good night, darling. Pleasant dreams. That's strange. Very strange. Just a moment ago, there were only Sylvia and I here. Now she's gone. Yet I feel that I'm not alone.
You're not alone, Grange.
What? What was that? I thought I heard a voice.
It was my voice.
Who are you? Where are you?
I told you I'd come back.
No. No, it's just my imagination.
Is it your imagination, Grange?
Yes. Yes, of course.
I warned you. I warned you. Remember?
Come out. Come out in the open. Come out, I say. Do you hear me? Come out.
Your gun is useless against me now, Grange.
What do you want? Tell me, what do you want?
Oh, not now. The time isn't right now. But I'll be back. Watch for me and wait. Watch and wait. For I'll come back, Grange. I'll come back.
No. No, I'm sure of it. It was no one. No one at all. I just imagined it, that's all. Yes, just my imagination. Sylvia, dear, you look so tired. Here, perhaps this will wake you up. Present for you.
A present?
Yes, something I picked up today. I thought you'd like it.
How sweet of you, darling. I think I can guess just by looking at the box. It's a ring.
Oh, aren't you clever? Go ahead, open it.
Oh, Lord, darling, but don't hurry me. Oh,
Sylvia, that isn't the ring I bought for you.
Keith, look at this ring.
The initials. P.B.
Keith, this is his ring.
Sylvia, what are you saying?
It's his ring. I gave it to him.
But, Sylvia...
Keith, I swear to you, Philip Blake was buried with that ring on his finger.
Cab, mister?
Yes, please.
Do you mind coming around to the other side, please, mister? That door's busted, and you can't get it open.
Oh, very well.
Sorry to ask that of you, but they ain't had time to get the other door fixed. Where to, friend?
Huntington Arms Hotel, please.
Right.
Excellent.
Huh?
That's where I'm going.
Oh, you startled me. I didn't know there was anyone in this cab. It's so dark tonight.
Yes, isn't it?
I say, I don't seem to feel anyone in the seat here beside me.
Strange. You certainly bumped me hard enough when you crawled in here.
Bumped you? I beg your pardon, sir, but I...
Never mind, Grange. Never mind.
You know me?
I'm surprised that you don't know me.
Why, yes. Your voice sounds familiar. Good Lord. Philip Blake.
Do you mind riding with me?
Blake, you're supposed to be dead. You're supposed to be buried.
I am dead, Grange. I am buried.
Cabby, stop this cab.
Right, sir.
Now, let me out of here. Let me out.
What's the matter, Governor? Hey, you hadn't ought to jump out of a moving car like that.
What in the name of heaven is in the back of that cab?
Why, nothing, Governor. Here, see? I'll turn on the light. There. See?
But there was somebody in there with me.
Oh, now, mister, they couldn't have been. Look for yourself. The seat's empty there. And you just jumped out on this side of the cab. The other door won't open. No, brother, there wasn't nobody in that seat with you. Must have been your imagination.
Hello? Hello, Doris? Dear, this is Sylvia. I just wanted to remind you about the masquerade ball at Keith's new home tonight. You'll be there? Fine. Now remember, masks and costumes for everybody. All right, dear. Now be sure to come in costume, won't you, Dorothy? Yes. And heavily masked, my dear. Yes, at Keith's new place. Oh, darling, wait till you see the place. It's really a mansion. Honestly, it's huge. Mr. Grange, I believe.
Sylvia, darling. So you penetrated my disguise.
Silly. I heard you order it from the costumers yesterday. Darling, the music will start soon. Is the first dance ours?
Sylvia, my dear, every dance is ours tonight. Are you happy I bought this place?
Oh, it's lovely. Absolutely lovely, Keith. Darling, what's the matter?
That man in black. I've been watching him all evening. He's been watching me.
Do you know who he is?
No. He just stands and stares at me. Everywhere I go, he's always just a short distance away.
Look, Keith. He's going into your study.
Well, he hasn't any business in there.
That's strange. I locked that door this evening so the guest wouldn't go into your study and disturb things.
Well, he just walked right in. And, dear, I'll go see who he is and what he wants. You mingle with the guests, and I'll join you later.
Very well, dear. But don't be long. I'll be waiting for you.
All right, Sylvia. Yeah. It's odd. This door is locked. Dark. Piano. Oh, confound it. Where's the light switch? There. No, it can't be. That piano. Someone's playing and... Yet there's no one seated there. The keys. Moving. Up and down. Playing the music. But there are no hands on them. That melody. It's the melody he played the night I killed him. He's playing it now. And yet he's not there.
I'm here, Grange. I'm here.
Blake.
Look closer, Grange. Here I am. You see?
Yes. I see you now.
I brought you a little gift for your masquerade party.
What?
You'll find it lying on your desk. Turn around and see for yourself. That's right. There. You see?
A gun.
It's the one you killed me with. Don't you recognize it?
Where did you get that gun?
I found it, Grange, and I've brought it back to you. I put one shell in its chamber. Just one, Grange. But that is enough.
What are you trying to... Gone. He's gone. Lord, am I mad? Was I dreaming? No. No, the gun is here. It is my gun. One cartridge, he said. Only one. One cartridge. Yes. Yes, it's the only way left. He knew it was the only way. Now he's left me to take it. All right, Blake. You can have your revenge. You can have it. And you are right. It is the only way.
So he shot himself, eh?
The evidence in there will indicate that he did, yes.
Say, that's quite a yarn you spun, Zorro.
It is nothing but the truth.
Come on now, come on, my friend. Let's take off your mask and have a look at you.
One moment. Keith Grange shot Philip Blake squarely between the eyes.
Yeah? So what?
That doesn't make a very pretty sight.
Well, I don't see what that's got to do with... here comes the captain. He'll take that mask off you. Captain Sullivan, come here a minute, will you?
Yes, Casey, what is it?
Well, there's a mug here that won't take off his mask. He's been spinning me the most fantastic yarn I ever heard in all my... where'd he go?
Huh? Where'd who go? Say, did you let somebody get out of this house, Casey?
No, Sir Cap. No, I didn't. But he was standing here just a minute ago. He wouldn't take off his mask. He told me the darndest story about a murdered man coming back from the grave.
Casey, have you been near the punch bowl? Well, there's no one here now. Wait a minute. What's this stain here on the floor?
Blood. A little pool of it. There on the floor. Right in the exact spot where the man in black was standing.
Dark fantasy.
The Man Who Came Back, an original tale of dark fantasy by Scott Bishop. Ben Morris was Keith Grange. Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Herda Sylvia. Fred Wayne took the part of Casey. Muir Height was Captain Sullivan. Murillo Schofield, the cab driver. And Eugene Francis was the Man Who Came Back. Ladies and gentlemen, every Friday night at this time, the National Broadcasting Company will bring you Dark Fantasy, tales of the weird, adventures of the supernatural, created for you by Scott Bishop. Listen 1 week from tonight for the breathtaking story of the tombs of ancient China, the soul of Shan Hai Wan.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, so that's the first episode, The Man Who Came Back. We're going to take a short commercial break and then come back for our second episode, Dead from the Past. In 1942, Mary Billings is desperate for work and heads for a job interview as a stenographer. She discovers that the building takes her back in time to 1912. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Death from the Past, starring Jane Wyatt.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, Yes?
Is that your newspaper lying there on the park bench?
Why, yes, it is.
May I look at a moment, please?
Well, if you wish, of course. Here, I'll move over. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, there you are.
I hope you don't think me forward. I'll only be a minute.
Oh, take as much time as you like. Here, will you roll yourself a cigarette?
What? Oh, no, thanks.
Sorry, I can't offer you a tailored one.
Oh, quite all right, thank you.
Out of a job, hmm?
Yes, but don't tell me I look that desperate.
No, Well, I notice you've turned to the help wanted columns.
Yes, but somebody seems to have been there ahead of me. These ads are certainly all marked up with pencil.
Maybe you can say that again. I was lucky even to find a pencil.
Oh. You, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody needs to feel sorry for me. I'll get along.
You've been to all these places you've marked here in this column.
Sister, I've been there and then some.
And you didn't get one of them?
No, not one. Why, look at the soles on my shoes. Here, look. Those are yesterday's want ads I'm walking off.
How long have you been out of work?
Oh, I don't know, about 10 weeks. First, I had a lot of dough. I thought I was a wise guy. I wouldn't have any trouble getting another job. I was wrong. I dropped all my money, and I've been sleeping here on this park bench for the past 3 weeks.
When do you eat?
Whenever I can. Today, I'm all right. I got a chance to make a couple of Iron Men yesterday.
Iron Men?
Bucks, dollars.
Oh.
You, been around town much?
Well, I've been here about 2 weeks. I came up from Sandville.
You got people here?
No. My father and stepmother live in Sandville. Well, my stepmother and I have never been anything more than barely civil to each other.
Oh, I get it. So you've come here to get a job?
No, I've come here to get a job.
How much money you got?
Well, I really don't think that's anyone's affair.
Oh, bother. If you got to be formal about it, my name's Mark Matthew.
Mine's Luke John.
Oh, I'm serious. My name is Mark Matthew. I was named after the two gentlemen who helped write the Bible.
Well, my name's Mary Billings.
Well, Miss Billings, I'm mighty pleased to know you. Now that we're thoroughly acquainted and completely good friends, you tell me when you ate last.
I'm all right.
You look hungry.
Oh, yes, I guess I am.
Join me for a hamburger?
With onion?
As you like, and a cup of coffee.
Is that a date?
Mary, well, I'm sorry I can't buy you a 35-cent blue plate.
I'd love a hamburger, Mark.
Then it's a deal.
Okay, Mr. Matthew, it is a deal.
Want another hamburger, Mary?
No, thanks. Two's plenty. You shouldn't have made me eat that second one. I'm sure you can't afford it.
Oh, I know where I can make $1 or so tomorrow. I'll buy some cigarettes if you don't think you can roll
No,
one.
thanks, no. And don't buy any. I really don't smoke much.
Say, you're a nice girl to know. Inexpensive.
I really don't know why I'm letting you do this for me. I'm not in the habit of...
Oh, I know. Neither am I. But my Irish mother taught me never to ignore a pretty young woman who is hungry. Say, you are pretty, you know.
I thought you were going to be different.
Yeah, I'm different. I say I'm going to feed you hamburgers, and I feed you hamburgers.
Oh, and good ones, too.
Don't I know they're good? I've been eating them for weeks.
Ma, I think I'll answer this ad.
Hmm? Oh, say, did you drag that old beaten-up newspaper in here, will you?
Well, certainly I did. I'm still looking for a job, even if my hunger has been temporarily satisfied.
Well, if you can find a job out of that bunch, you're a better job hunter than I am.
Well, you haven't tried this one. Someone's looking for a woman.
Sound good?
Very. Listen. Wanted, stenographer. If you are an ambitious, talented, and reasonably attractive young woman who can use the typewriter, the adding machine, and can write shorthand, apply in person to see Mr. Gibson, Friday night after midnight, room 1313, Temple Building.
Do you think you can fill the bill? Are you ambitious?
I can use the typewriter.
Are you talented?
I can operate an adding machine.
And, are you reasonably attractive?
You told me you thought I'm pretty, remember? Besides, I also know how to write shorthand.
Then apply for the job by all means.
I think I will. But I don't like this apply after midnight angle.
Yeah, that is very unusual. Why at that time of night?
Well, maybe it's a night job. Anyway, I'm going to have a try at it. Room 1313, Temple Building. Where's the Temple Building?
On the other side of town.
How far, Mark?
Oh, about 10 or 12 miles.
Oh.
Hey, you'll need car fare. Here, take this $50.
Oh, Mark, Well, I'm not going to argue about it. I'll take it. And I'll return the money tomorrow night. I get a small check from my father tomorrow morning.
That's all right, Mary.
I'll meet you... Well, let me see. I'll meet you here in the park at the same bench, and I'll let you know how I come out about the job in the Temple Building. Yes, this is the Temple Building, all right. Awfully quiet in here. Dimly lighted. Nobody around. Not even a hall porter. This is a very strange place. Here's the building directly. Well, let's see. What is the man's name? Oh, yes, Gibson. Gibson. No, there's no Gibson listed here. His company's name is probably here, but I don't know that name. Now, let's see. How does one get up to the 13th floor? Here's an open elevator, but there's no one to operate it. Oh, this is the type you operate yourself. Just step in. Press the button marked 13. The door's closed. And up we go. Oh, my. Better say a little prayer that I get this job. Amen. There. Here we are. My, it must be a night job. This entire floor is one huge office. Row after row of desks with people working at them. And brilliant lights everywhere. This city must be a big country.
May I help you, miss?
Oh, yes, please. I've come in answer to the ad in the newspaper.
Ad?
Oh.
Advertisement?
Yes.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Mr. Gibson advertised for a young woman to do typing and shorthand. Here, I've cut out the ad. This is it.
May I see it, please? Thank you. I see. Mr. Gibson failed to tell me he had inserted an advertisement in the Bee.
Oh, but this was in the Times.
I'm sorry, young lady. Mr. Gibson uses only the Bee. You'll find his office right down this aisle, the first door to your left. Room 1313.
Thank you.
Just knock on his door and he'll answer you.
Yes, thanks. That's strange. These people all seem very modern, and yet they're dressed so quaintly. Honestly, they look old-fashioned. Oh, here's the door.
Come in, please.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes, come in, please, and close the door.
Thank you.
Sit down, young lady. Don't just stand there.
Yes, sir. I've come about the job, sir. The one you mentioned in your ad in the Times?
Times? I never advertised in anything but the Bee. You read my advertisement in the Bee, I'm sure.
You want a stenographer, one who can type, use the adding machine, and take directions.
Yes.
I'm very ambitious, Mr. Gibson, and I feel that I can learn the work quickly. I'm easily taught.
Good.
Your ad asked for a moderately attractive girl. I'll try to be neat and tidy, sir.
My dear young lady, if your qualifications are as you claim, I feel you'll do very nicely. Here, take this pencil, please, and this pad. There now. Are you ready to take a letter?
Yes, sir.
Address it, Mr. Hugh Lanning, 1501 Tower Building, City. Dear Mr. Lanning, we have received your order for the office materials listed on your invoice, and I shall personally see to it that the items ordered are assembled, boxed, and shipped to you immediately. We are exceedingly thankful for your order, and we trust you will find our service up to its usual promptness and carefulness. If we may serve you again in the future, please be assured every attention will be given to your desires. Yours very truly, the Acme Office Supply Company by Jonathan Gibson. Got that?
Yes, sir.
Now, will you type it up, please? Use that machine over there. You'll find paper in the drawer.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, young lady?
22.
Your name?
Mary Billings.
Where were you born?
In Sandville. That's about 35 miles from here.
Are you ready to start work tonight if you prove satisfactory?
Oh, yes.
What salary will you expect?
That'll depend upon the work, sir. You must know what's fair.
Well, say Say $20 a week?
So we say that to begin with. Then if I do more than $20 worth of work, I'll ask for a raise. It's my opinion that employees should be paid according to the amount of work they do.
True, young lady. Quite true. What's your home address, please?
2122 Melrose. I'm only there temporarily. Will you please sign this, Mr. Gibson?
Eh? What? Sign what?
The letter you gave me. It's ready.
Finished? Already? Young lady, you're quite efficient. Let's see. Typing is neat. I like it.
Thank you, sir. I hope I may have the job.
Yes, of course. But one thing, Miss Billings.
Yes, sir?
Your clothes, my dear. They're, shall we say, a little too modern.
Too modern? I thought them quite conservative.
The neckline and the skirt length and the sleeves. I'm afraid, Miss Billings, you'll be compelled to wear a tight neck dress, long sleeves, and a skirt to the ankles.
Like the others outside are dressed, sir?
Yes, exactly. And the rouge and lipstick. We don't use cosmetics with the Acme Company, Miss Billings.
Very well, sir.
And the short haircut. Bob, I believe it's called. You will let your hair grow out, Miss Billings. Meanwhile, you will add a switch to your hair.
Yes, Mr. Gibson.
Now, if you'll just step outside and speak to the young lady at the reception desk, she'll show you a place to work and assign your duties.
Mr. Gibson, I can't thank you enough. I work very hard, and I'll try to be a credit to your company.
I'm sure you will, Miss Billings.
May I tidy up your office before I take over my work?
Tidy up my office?
Well, yes, if you pardon me. We really could stand a little cleaning and dusting. So many cobwebs and dust everywhere. But these windows look like as though they hadn't been washed in years. And your calendar needs changing, Mr. Gibson.
My calendar?
Yes, look. It says April 16th. This is January 16th.
My dear girl, you're mistaken. This is the 16th day of April.
And the calendar says 1912.
That's right. This is 1912.
But, Mr. Gibson, this is 1942. And it's January, not April.
My dear young lady, are you in earnest?
Why, of course I am. This is the 16th of January, 1942.
Oh, certainly. You must be jesting.
No, Mr. Gibson, I'm not jesting. This is not 1912. It's 1942.
I can't understand what would lead you to say a thing like that. Here, young lady, this newspaper. Today's. Now look at the date on it. April the 16th, 1912. There, you see?
Gibson, you say this is today's newspaper?
Of course it is. Look at it yourself. Fresh ink. Smell it? Fresh paper.
Yes, you're right. But those headlines.
Yes, a terrible disaster.
The Titanic sunk at sea on her maiden voyage.
Yes, she hit an iceberg. A sad tragedy.
That was 30 years ago. Long before I was born.
What was that? I'm afraid I don't hear very well these days.
Wait, it wasn't important. Shall I take over my work now?
Yes, if you will. We need your services very badly. Business is exceptionally good, and I'll admit it's difficult to find a young woman with as much ability as you have.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. I'll try to live up to your expectations.
I feel certain you will, Miss Billings. If there's anything you don't understand, just ask the young lady at the front desk.
Yes. Thank you, I shall. Thank you very much, Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson said to see you about the work I'm to do here?
Yes. You will use desk number 27. That's over there, the one with the rosebud in the vase.
Yes, I see it.
I believe I'll let you work on the first of the month invoices. Here, use these invoice blanks. The books are on that metal table by your desk.
Yes, thank you. How do you want the invoices dated?
May 1st, 1912.
May 1st, 1912.
That's right. That'll reach our customers the first day of May. And, did Mr. Gibson mention about your clothes?
Oh, yes, he did. But he said I was to go to work now and take care of changing later.
Very well. You'll find paper, pencils, and erasers in your desk.
Thank you.
I filled out this form for you. Tell me if it's correct. Name, Mary Billings. Born at Stanville, age 22. Let's see, you were born in 1890 then, weren't you?
That would be 22 years ago, wouldn't it?
Your hours will be from midnight until 8 a.m. You may take time out at 4 o'clock for refreshment. 1 hour. If you have any questions about your work, please don't hesitate to ask me.
Miss Billings speaking. Yes, Mr. Gibson. In your office? Yes, sir. I'll come in immediately. Yes, Mr. Gibson, you sent for me?
Yes. Sit down, Miss Billings. The dawn will be here soon, Miss Billings.
I don't have a watch.
And there are no clocks in the office. You noticed?
Yes.
Ah, yes. The dawn will soon be here. And all too soon.
I haven't been here long, Mr. Gibson, but I enjoy the work I've done so far.
Yes, Miss Johnson reports you give all your attention to your work. She reports that you're extremely efficient.
Oh, I'm glad, sir. I've tried to apply myself.
Yes. You were just as I expected you would be.
What was that, Mr. Gibson?
I mean, I could tell by the work you did in here for me that you would be quite capable.
I hope you like me well enough to allow me to keep the job.
I want you to go home now, my dear. You've done quite enough work for tonight.
But I'd just as soon stay my full time.
No. Won't pay to overwork the first day, you know. Here, Miss Billings, is your check.
My check?
Yes, you probably need a little money.
Why, yes, but...
No. Just cash the check and get what you need with the money.
But this check is made out for $80.
Yes. I believe that was the amount, wasn't it?
Why, I don't understand.
Would you mind going now, Miss Billings? The dawn will soon be here, and would you mind going now?
I know if you wish.
Thank you, my dear. And may I wish you every happiness, Miss Billings. Every happiness in the world. Good day now.
Mary, wait for me.
Oh, Mark, I've been waiting so long. I thought you weren't coming.
Oh, Mary. Oh, boy, am I glad to see you. I can hardly wait all day to hurry here and tell you the news.
News?
Yes, I've got a job, and a good one. $55 a week.
Oh, Mark, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, and I got some swell ideas. I'm going to tell you one of them before long. Hey, how about your job?
Well, I got it, Mark, but I don't know what to think about it. Everything was so strange.
Yeah? What happened?
Well, I went to the Temple building, and I took the elevator up to the 13th floor. So I took the check and left the building, just as the dawn was beginning to break.
That's odd. Very. Look, Mary, you have to go to work at midnight, you say. Do you mind if I go along?
I know. I suppose it'll be all right.
Good. I want to get a look at the kind of a businessman who'd have a 1912 calendar on his office wall. That's some elevator, Here, push the button for yourself.
Yeah. I guess they figured you cut down an overhead. No operator. Here we are. Mark.
Hey. Are you sure you pushed the right button?
I'm positive. But look at this place.
I thought you said this entire floor was an office.
Yes, it was. But now, there's nothing but one dim light. Heaps of junk and boxes, barrels, and stuff here.
But this floor isn't used for anything but storage space.
But there were desks here, lots of them, and people working.
Oh, but Mary, there couldn't have been.
Wait a minute. Mark, lying over there on the floor.
Oh, let's see. There's something glittering over here. It's a lipstick.
Mark, it's my lipstick.
What?
Yes. I missed it just after I left the building early this morning. I must have dropped it here while I was waiting for the elevator.
Then what you told me did happen.
Yes, Maud. I'm very certain of that. Very certain. Come inside a minute, Mark, will you? I want you to see the check the little man named Gibson made out to me.
Yeah, I want to see it.
There's something else I want you to look at. Something I brought with me from home. Come in.
You said this fellow Gibson had a City B newspaper on his desk.
Yes. Dated April 16th, 1912.
Well, you might not know it, but the Bee went out of business in this town 20 years ago.
But the ink was fresh. And the paper. Any newspaper printed 30 years ago would have been yellow and faded.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, is that the check?
Yes. Here.
And for $80. Wait a minute. Did you notice this, Mary? The check's made out to Margaret Billing.
Yes. I noticed that this morning, but I thought Mr. Gibson had just made a mistake. Now, I think I know the answer.
Do? Say, what are these things in this little box? Your souvenirs?
Yes, more or less. Here, this lace handkerchief.
Oh, it's lovely.
It belonged to my mother. Her name was Margaret.
Oh, I see.
And this is a portion of the diary she kept up to a year after I was born. Let's see, 1912. 10, 11. Here's 1912.
What are you looking for, Mary?
I'm not sure, Mark. February, March, April. Here, April. April 16th. Here we are.
Well, Mary?
Mark, listen. Here's what my mother wrote in her diary on April 16th, 1912. Today, the Acme Office Supply Company on the 13th floor of the Temple Building declared bankruptcy. 42 employees were left without work. With a month's pay due each of us. I went to Mr. Gibson, the owner, and asked for at least a portion of the money he owed me. But he said he was unable to pay a cent. He promised, however, to pay me the $80 he owed me just as soon as possible. This was bad news for me, indeed. Almost as bad as the news the headlines carried in today's paper. Titanic was sunk at sea on her maiden voyage.
Dark fantasy.
You have heard Death from the Past, a tale of dark fantasy starring that popular Hollywood actress, Jane Wyatt, and written especially for her by Scott Bishop. We wish to thank Miss Wyatt for her most excellent portrayal tonight of Mary Billings, and we join Jane Wyatt in urging you to do your bit toward the cause nearest to President Roosevelt's heart on his Diamond Jubilee. Give to your local Mile of Dimes committee. Ben Morris was heard tonight as Mark Matthew, Eleanor Naylor Corrin was the office manager, and Muir Height played Mr. Gibson. Next Friday night at this same time, we'll bring you another unusual tale of dark fantasy, The Headless Dead. Miss Wyatt appeared tonight through the courtesy of the RKO Studios. Dark fantasy originates each Friday night in the studios of WKY, Oklahoma City. Tom Paxton speaking. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, so that's our second episode there, Debt from the Past. We got one more episode, Spawn of the Subhuman, and in which we got a famous soprano who's taking a chartered flight with her partner and manager, Michael. But feeling an impending sense of doom, the pair discover exactly who is flying the plane. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then be right back for our third episode.
Dark fantasy. Spawn of The subhuman. Beautiful takeoff.
Yes, good pilot. But why did you charter such a large plane for just the two of us, Michael? Isn't this being just a bit too pretentious?
Nothing but the best from now on, Angela. Besides, this was the only plane available. You can unloosen your safety belt now.
I might as well confess that the real reason I was late was because I took so much time reading the notices in the paper this morning.
Weren't they superb?
Excellent. The audience was quite nice to me last night. Extremely appreciative, but I didn't expect such fine reports from the press.
Didn't I tell you before the concert that you'd be a hit? Today, my dear, you're recognized as the outstanding soprano of the nation.
You've had a lot of faith in me, haven't you, Michael?
Well, offhand, I'd say I have, yes.
You spent a lot of money to make me a success.
Don't worry. I'll collect every cent of it back if we get as good houses as we had last night.
Michael.
Yes, darling?
Do you feel, well, rather strange?
Strange? No, dear. Why?
I feel like something is going to happen.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. A feeling of impending danger just seemed to come over me all of a sudden.
Danger? What possible danger could we be in?
I don't know. But I've had this feeling before. It's like someone had spread a shroud down over this airplane.
Oh, now that's a peculiar way to talk, Adela.
It's the same sort of feeling I had that day Stefan disappeared.
Stefan Wilder?
Yes.
Adela.
I was riding in my car that day. I'd been to a matinee with several of my friends. We'd had a glorious time. I was quite happy. So I drove out into the country with the top down on my car. The wind was blowing against the car, just as it's blowing against the plane now. And the sun was glistening on the bright metal of the car, just as it's glistening on the wing out there.
Darling, please don't think of that now.
Oh, it was a lovely day. Just like today. My heart was very light. I was happy. Thrillingly happy. Stefan and I were to be married within a week.
Adela, please.
And then, for no reason at all, I had that strange feeling. It just came out of nowhere and settled down around me like a huge cloth might cover the body of someone who had just died.
Don't talk that way, darling.
It was the strangest feeling I'd ever experienced. Weird. Terrible. It gave me the feeling that 100,000 evil spirits were racing at a maddening pace behind my car, trying to catch up with me, clutch me in their bony, fiendish hands.
That was so long ago. 5 years.
So long ago. It seems like yesterday. Then, when I speeded up the car, something began to pound in my ears. It's pounding there now, Michael. It's pounding there now.
Adela, please.
The faster I drove, the more that evil shroud hung over me. I gave the car more gas. More. And then...
When they found you in the wreckage, they thought you were dead.
I couldn't make the curve. The motor had reached full speed. I could think of but one single danger. The invisible danger that raced there behind me, striving to catch me in its hold.
But there was no one. Nothing.
Oh, but there seemed to be. And what was so strange, all of a sudden that bright day vanished. Just vanished. Clouds came out of nowhere and hid the sun from sight.
Darling, I better pull down this shade on the window.
Oh, Michael, wait a minute. Look. Look outside. Clouds. They're flying below them. And they've completely blotted out the sun.
The sun will be out in a minute.
Oh, it's just like that day. Clouds hiding the sun. Just like they did that day.
Oh, just a coincidence.
Dark
dreary clouds, followed by loud bursts of thunder. Listen. Oh, Michael. What does it mean?
Nothing at all. Just a thunderstorm. Pilot will go up and fly above it.
Why didn't he go up above the storm when he saw it?
Oh, I don't know.
Because he didn't see it, that's why.
Certainly he did.
No. Oh, it came up. Just like that day 5 years ago. Out of nowhere. It came up before the pilot was even aware of it.
Oh, nonsense.
It wasn't nonsense 5 years ago. First clouds, then the thunder, then it began to rain.
Well, look for yourself. It's not raining now. It's nothing but an electrical storm. See, we're going above it.
Oh, Michael, I'm frightened.
There's nothing to be frightened about. There, look. There's the sun again.
It was all so strange. That feeling. The clouds hiding behind the sun. The thunder.
Sure, but no rain.
Mr. Brock?
Oh, Michael.
Darling, just the pilot talking to us over the talkback system. Push that button right there so I can answer.
Mr. Brock, Miss Rhodes.
Yes, pilot, what is it?
Don't be alarmed about the storm. We're above it now.
Oh, yes, thank you. Just an electrical storm, isn't it?
No, sir. It's more than that. It's raining cats and dogs down there.
Michael. Rain. Oh, Michael.
We're up above the storm. Nothing can harm us here.
You remember, don't you? I never saw Stephen Wilder again after that experience I had 5 years ago.
Yes. Yes, I remember.
No one ever saw him again. He just disappeared.
Please, darling, don't think about it anymore today. You're tired. Perhaps a little rest would do you good.
Oh, yes, you're right. I am tired.
Just lie back and relax then. Honestly, sweet, there's nothing to be worried about. We just happened to run into a storm and you thought about that old experience of yours.
I wonder, Michael. I wonder if we did just happen into the storm. Michael, where are you, darling?
Over here, dear. Did you have a good sleep?
Oh, I did sleep after all. Why are the lights out?
Oh, I turned them out so you'd sleep as long as you could. And I'll switch them back on. There.
What time is it?
9:30.
9:30. Oh, Michael, I've been asleep more than 8 hours.
I thought you'd never wake up.
It's after dark, and you've had the lights off all this time just for me.
Well, I guess I'd better admit I got a little sleep, too.
Where are we now?
Over Mexico. Hey, hungry, dear?
Oh, I'm famished. You know, I can't imagine what made me sleep so long.
Oh, we land at Centella. We can get food there.
Have we landed at all since I retired?
No, we're circling now. Well, that's Centella down there.
Oh.
You better pretty up a bit. This is a secluded part of the country, but you never know who you're going to run into. That was Centella.
How long before we're in Monterey?
Oh, about an hour.
Did you get good reservations?
The best. Did you enjoy your dinner?
Oh, immensely. That was a nice place. Certainly a rough landing field, though.
Well, it's not actually a landing field. We had to land someplace to refuel before we got to Monterey, so I picked Centella.
I enjoyed it. A quaint little place. It's a funny thing, Michael. Did you notice the plane?
What do you mean, dear?
It didn't look a bit like it had been in a rainstorm.
I thought you'd forgotten all about that. Of course, it didn't look like it. We flew above the rain before it started.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to spend the next hour looking through my fashion magazines before we land at Monterey. should we be over water?
Water? Well, no, of course not.
Well, we are. There's water all around us.
Oh, let's see. By heaven, Adela, you're right.
The pilot's off his course.
Surely you must realize it.
Oh, you better go up and find out.
Yes, I will. I'll be right back.
Hurry, Michael, for heaven's sake.
Right. Oh, door to the pilot's cabin's locked. I say, pilot. Pilot.
What's wrong, Michael?
Oh, the door to this cabin is locked. Curtain over the windows pulled down inside. Pilot, open up.
Look, he's raising the curtain. Michael.
Good Lord. A thick, hairy arm.
Michael. That's not our pilot at the controls. It's a monkey.
A gorilla.
Oh, Michael. Are we dreaming?
No. No, it's true. A live gorilla piloting our plane.
But that's impossible.
No, confounded door's locked. Open this door. Open up.
Oh, Michael, be careful. Look at him. Peering back at us. Those little beady eyes. And an expression on his face that almost human.
This is fantastic. How in the world did we ever come to be in the air with a creature like that?
We had our regular pilot when we landed at Centella. I saw him climb down out of the cabin.
So did I. But I never did see him again before we took off. Naturally, his back was to me when I gave him the go-ahead signal.
Oh, Michael. Michael, now what?
Oh, we're over land. He's bringing the plane down.
Oh, Michael. We're on the ground.
An absolutely perfect landing.
Oh, he's unlocking the door now. Michael, what's he going to do?
Just take it easy. Don't get excited. Whatever you do, don't run or make a fast movement. Don't let him know you're afraid of him.
Just standing there, looking at us.
Whatever you do, don't let him know you're afraid of him.
You don't have to be afraid of me.
Michael.
That creature talked.
Of course I talk.
Oh, we're a couple of fools, Adela. Just our pilot playing a trick on us, dressed up in a monkey suit.
There is no trickery. I am not your original pilot.
What?
I joined you at Centella, where I came to meet you for Dr. Luther.
Dr. Luther?
Yes. He's waiting for you. Come, follow me.
Steady, darling. Come on. We better follow him.
Here's the doctor now.
Well, Stephen, I see you brought our visitors.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, just as I directed you. Welcome, Adela Rhodes, and welcome to your lovely, lovely voice.
I say, look here.
And welcome to you, Mr. Brock. I'm so sorry that you will be of no assistance to me. However, you may be interested in what I have planned.
Now, listen, Dr. Luther. I want to know what this is all about.
You will learn what it is all about, and without delay, I assure you. Come, Stephen. Don't be so inhospitable. Show our guest into the laboratory. Sit down over there, my dear. Over here, Mr. Brock.
Michael.
Dr. Luther, I demand an explanation. Where are we? Why have you brought us here?
You're too full of questions, Mr. Brock. I've already told you I'm about to show you why I brought you here. Here, high in these mountains, secretly, I've been working for 5 years, experimenting, testing, trying to accomplish what everyone would have said was utterly impossible had I told them about it. But I didn't tell anyone. Instead, I came here and built this laboratory. You see, it's fully equipped and modern in every detail.
Now, look here, Dr. Luther.
During those 5 years, I trained Stephen here. I believe you will agree my training has been very successful. You now see an almost full-grown gorilla, behaving like a human, acting like a human, even talking like a human. I've been very kind to you, haven't I, Stephen?
Yes, Dr. Luther. Of course you have been kind.
Yes, just so. Scientists back there in your world, my dear Miss Rhodes, will tell you it's impossible to completely train a gorilla. That is the second point in which I've proved them wrong. Stephen, sing for us.
Yes, Doctor.
Si può. Si può. Signore. Signore.
Doesn't he have an excellent voice?
Did you hear that?
Impossible. Sing again, Stephen.
Oh. Oh.
You see, soon he will be world famous. I shall travel with him, take him to the four corners of the earth, and show people how well my gorilla sings.
Oh, Michael. I can't believe it. That's Stephen Wilder's voice.
It can't be.
Ah, but it is.
Yes. Now I remember. Now I know who you are, Dr. Luther. Stephen Wilder had an appointment with you that day he disappeared 5 years ago. I'd forgotten all about it, but I just now remembered.
So that's what happened to Stephen Wilder. You kidnapped him and brought him here and... You...
Precisely. I brought him here to do what others said could never be done. When I chloroformed him 5 years ago and brought him here, I thought I was ready. But my gorilla wasn't. So I had to wait. 3 months ago, I performed the operation.
Operation?
I removed the vocal cords from the man and grafted them into the gorilla.
Oh.
This is ridiculous. A thing like that can't be done.
Oh, surely you don't deny the proof I've just given you, Mr. Brock. Stephen, sing. You recognized that voice, Miss Rhodes, the moment you heard it, because you'd sung operas with Mr. Wilder so much.
That was the way he sang, to exercise his voice.
Don't you both realize what I have here? The secret of an untold wealth. Why, besides knowing how to train this ferocious and morose type of animal, besides knowing how to transfer human vocal cords successfully, I have something I can exhibit to the world to prove my knowledge. Think of the fortune I can amass, because people will pay immense sums to see and hear my singing gorilla.
Stop it. Stop it, I say. Why have you brought me here? Surely you could have spared me this.
I will tell you why, Miss Rhodes. If you and Mr. Brock will step over here.
The only place we're going to step is out of this place.
You will do as I ask. Stephen, these people are not to leave.
Very well, Dr. Luther.
Over here, if you please.
Better do what he says, Adler.
There. Go to this plate glass. Look into the next room.
Another gorilla.
Yes. Isn't it a fine specimen?
Fine specimen?
Yes, she.
She?
Oh, no. No. You're not planning.
I've trained her very carefully. She was so much more responsive than the male. Now that she's able to obey me, I'm quite ready for the rest of my plans for her.
Oh, no. No, you can't. I won't let you.
I'll say he can.
Neither of you will be able to prevent it. Soon I'll tour the world with the most amazing exhibition on earth. A male and a female gorilla singing all the world-famous operas.
Look here, you...
Wait a minute. I just happened to think of something, Doctor.
Yes?
Do you remember the day Stephen Wilder had that appointment with you 5 years ago?
Yes, certainly I remember. I'd been planning to obtain possession of him so I could bring him here. I was most pleased when he called and asked for an appointment.
But did he tell you why he was calling upon you?
I know. No, he didn't.
He came to you, Dr. Luther, because he was losing his voice.
You must be wrong.
I am not wrong. I am the only one he told about it. It had been worrying him for a long time. You see, the more he sang, the worse his voice became. He was gradually losing it.
But that's impossible.
Do you think so, Doctor?
You're a specialist on that subject. That's why he was coming to you that
No,
day.
you must be wrong. After all the work I've done.
Your gorilla will lose his voice, Dr. Luther. And I assure you, before you'll do anything to me, I'll see to it that my voice is ruined too.
He won't. He can't. He's an excellent voice. Excellent. Yes, yes, of course he is. We've worked together. I've trained him. His voice can't go bad on me now. Not now. Just when it's finally successful.
Oh, you'll see, Dr. Luther.
No, you're wrong. You're mistaken. He'll sing all right. He won't lose his voice. Will you step in? No, of course not. You're in an excellent voice, Stephen. Sing. Sing your head, Stephen. Show him.
Si può, signore, signore.
There, you see? Did you hear that? A beautiful quality, beautiful tones.
Oh, Maria.
Listen, Doctor.
Stephen! What's wrong? Try again.
Now you think I'm wrong.
No, it's true. Stephen, you devil. After all I've done, after all my work, this is what I get as a reward. I sacrificed everything. My position, my career, all my money, and this is what happens. Well, there's one way, Stephen. By heaven, there's one way.
Get back, Adela.
He got a gun.
No, no, Dr. Luther. That bullet hit that beast, but look at him.
Stop! No, Stephen! Stephen, no! Stephen, let go of me! No, Stephen!
Dark fantasy. You have heard Spawn of the Subhuman, tonight's original tale of dark fantasy by Scott Bishop. Ben Morris was heard as Michael Brock, Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Adela Rhodes, Garland Moss played Dr. Luther, and Muir Height was the gorilla. Next Friday night at this same time, listen to the 16th in this series of dark fantasy dramas created by Scott Bishop, The Man with the Scarlet Satchel. The story of an aged millionaire who receives a child's set of modeling clay as a practical joke, but who turns the gift into an incredible and weird instrument of destruction. Don't miss this unusual story next Friday night, The Man with the Scarlet Satchel. Tom Paxton speaking. Dark Fantasy comes to you from WKY, Oklahoma City. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, so there we have it. That's your 3 episodes from Dark Fantasy from 1941 to 1942. Don't know when we'll be doing this again, Ancient Airwaves, but it might be some time. I've got a lot going on in my personal life right now, so we're trying to figure some shit out. But otherwise, I am moving forward with our DMCA Disney doubles tomorrow night, The Lion King from 1994 and 2019 in the Conflux, starting, well, I want to try to start at 5:30, but it's probably not going to be until 6 or maybe even 6:30. I've got some stuff after work to take care of, so we'll see. In the meantime, we're going to go raid Tuba Swan, so thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Clappo, for the raid, and we'll catch you next time on the EBC channel. Adios!